Horizon Mall sat in the heart of downtown Seattle, where skyscrapers sliced through the overcast sky and office workers rushed like they were racing against time. On what seemed like an ordinary Monday morning, a minor incident in the main lobby would become the spark that ignited a federal investigation, one no one in that building could have seen coming. Alexa Monroe, 38, was one of the most prominent attorneys at Rutherford & Haynes, a powerhouse law firm with sweeping influence across the Pacific Northwest. She stepped out of a rented Tesla, dressed in a charcoal pencil skirt and cream blazer, clutching a steaming latte in one hand and holding a phone to her ear with the other. Her voice was sharp, irritated. She was complaining about yet another delayed lawsuit. As Alexa entered the lobby, she was immediately met with a sight that made her grimace. A janitor was cleaning up a spilled coffee near the elevators. The man looked to be in his 50s, with deep brown skin, a navy blue uniform, and a faded silver name tag that read, R. Ellis. He was crouched down, patiently scrubbing the floor, seemingly unbothered by the glances from the people hurrying past. Alexa, however, didn't let it slide. She stopped, frowned, and called out loudly, "Hey, you're blocking the way. Some of us actually have jobs to get to. You can't be mopping the floor all morning." Ellis looked up, his gaze calm. "I'm almost done, ma'am." Alexa scoffed. "Next time, do your job before 8 a.m. This is a law firm, not a bus station." No one in the lobby said a word, not even the security guard. Ellis didn't respond. He just nodded and went back to wiping the floor with steady, deliberate movements. Alexa stepped around him, jabbing the elevator button with visible frustration. She had no idea the man she'd just insulted wasn't an ordinary janitor. Roy Ellis was an undercover agent with the U.S. Department of Justice, deep into a covert operation investigating racial discrimination and biased hiring practices at major law firms. That morning, Roy had recorded every word of their exchange using a discreet mic pinned just under his collar. For the past 6 months, Roy had quietly rotated through various firms, each showing disturbing patterns of bias against minority employees. At Rutherford & Haynes, he had already gathered dozens of pieces of indirect evidence. Offhand jokes laced with racial undertones, dismissive glances, and harmless remarks that revealed deeply embedded prejudice. Alexa Monroe had just been another name on a long list, until this morning. Her behavior, captured on camera and laced with contempt, had just made her a central figure in the case. Later that day, in a small maintenance room tucked behind the basement storage area, Roy uploaded the audio file to a secure DOJ server. Alexa's voice was crystal clear, sharp, demeaning, and unfiltered. The clip didn't require analysis. It spoke for itself. Meanwhile, on the 25th floor, Alexa carried on with her day, berating her assistant and preaching about professional standards, unaware that every word she uttered might one day be examined in court. Her so-called principles were nothing more than a polished veil for her biases, wrapped in eloquence and entitlement. 3 days later, an internal memo circulated the firm. Notice of upcoming ethics review, in cooperation with federal authorities. No one knew the exact reason, but the atmosphere shifted. Friendly nods turned into sidelong glances. Alexa began to sense the silence, not the usual silence of office routine, but something colder, calculated. Candace, her assistant, no longer forced a smile. Bryce, a longtime colleague, moved desks. And Jean, her department partner, stopped laughing at Alexa's signature sarcastic quips. Soon after, Roy was pulled from the assignment. His final reports were submitted to the federal court. Rutherford & Haynes would now face a full-scale investigation into its hiring and promotion practices. Alexa never understood what triggered it all. To her, Roy was just a janitor who didn't know how to get out of the way. But she would soon learn. The quietest person in the room is often the one with the most power. This time, justice didn't come from a courtroom motion. It came from a mop and a mic beneath a collar.